Good morning to you, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversation Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But of course, you have your news headlines coming up on this hump day, with the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you've been part of my conversation with the one and only Jennifer Holliday. You don't want to miss that. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Wednesday headlines. In national news, administration expands availability of COVID antiviral pill. President Joe Biden's administration is taking steps to expand availability of the life-saving COVID-19 antiviral treatment, seeking to reassure doctors that there is ample supply for people at high risk of severe illness or death from the virus. Produced by Pfizer, this was the first approved in December. Supply of the regimen was initially very limited, but COVID-19 cases across the country have fallen and manufacturing has increased. The White House is now moving to raise awareness of the pill and taking steps to make it easier to access. The White House said Tuesday it is stepping up outreach to doctors, letting them know they shouldn't think twice about prescribing the pill to eligible patients. Also, the drug will now be distributed directly to pharmacies in addition to existing distribution channels run by the states. That is expected to boost the number of sites from 20,000 to more than 30,000 next week, and eventually to 40,000 locations. The administration used the pharmacy channel to boost availability of COVID-19 vaccines more than a year ago. The U.S. has ordered enough supply of the pills for 20 million people, which is estimated to last for several more months. The administration has warned that subsequent deliveries are dependent on Congress approving additional COVID-19 response funding. The Food and Drug Administration authorized Pfizer's drug for adults and children aged 12 or older with a positive COVID-19 test and early symptoms who face the highest risk of severe outcomes. That includes older people and those with conditions like obesity and heart disease, though the drug is not recommended for patients with severe kidney or liver problems. In a related story, Harris positive for COVID-19, Biden not a close contact. Vice President Kamala Harris tested positive for COVID-19 on Tuesday, the White House announced, underscoring the persistence of the highly contagious virus even as the U.S. eases restrictions in a bid to return to pre-pandemic normalcy. Neither President Joe Biden or First Lady Jill Biden was considered a close contact of Harris in recent days, said the Vice President's press secretary. Harris had been scheduled to attend Biden's Tuesday morning presidential daily brief, but was not present, the White House said. She had returned Monday from a week-long trip to the West Coast. The last time she saw Biden was the previous Monday, April 18th. I have no symptoms, and I will continue to isolate and follow CDC guidelines, Harris tweeted. I'm grateful to be both vaccinated and boosted. Biden phoned her Tuesday afternoon to make sure she has everything she needs while working from home, the White House said on Tuesday. Harris, 57, received her first dose of the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine weeks before taking office and a second dose just days after Inauguration Day in 2021. She received a booster shot late in October and an additional booster on April the 1st. Fully vaccinated and boosted people have a high degree of protection against serious illness and death from COVID-19, says the Associated Press, particularly from the most common and highly transmissible Omicron variant. In international news, Putin gets what he didn't want, Ukraine army closer to West. The longer Ukraine's army fends off the invading Russians, the more it absorbs the advantages of Western weaponry and training, exactly the transformation President Putin wanted to prevent by invading in the first place. The list of arms flowing to Ukraine is long and growing longer. It includes new American battlefield aerial drones and the most modern U.S. and Canadian artillery, anti-tank weapons from Norway and others, armored vehicles and anti-ship missiles from Britain, and Stinger counter-air missiles from the U.S., Denmark, and other countries. But sustaining that military aid won't be easy. It is costly and for some supplier nations, politically risky. It also is being taken out of Western stockpiles that at some point will need to be replenished. In business news, tech stocks slump again. Nasdaq has worst loss since 2020. More sharp declines in big tech stocks since the Nasdaq Composite down 4% on Tuesday, the worst drop for the tech-heavy index since September 2020. The Nasdaq is now down 20% so far this year as investors shun the ultra-pricey tech sector, which had been gangbuster gains for much of the pandemic. The S&P 500 fell 2%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 627 points, and the Nasdaq fell 3%. And finally, in entertainment news, the B-52s to launch a U.S. farewell tour this summer. The quirky dance pop outfit, the B-52s, are hitting the road one last time for a final tour this summer that will roam from coast to coast. No one likes to throw a party more than we do, but after almost a half-century on the road, it's time for one last blowout, said Fred Snyder, co-founder and singer for the Athens, Georgia-based band, in a statement. The band burst into the new wave scene in 1979 with songs like Rock Lobster and cracked the pop charts in the late 80s with the party classics Love Shack and Rome. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's some time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, take it away.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Revere God. Let Him know your love for Him. Show reverence to God by accepting the truth that you are a perfect child of His. Make a commitment to yourself to live your life the way God wants you to live it. Begin by discovering what is most original in you. What is your passion? What makes you unique? Write your answers to these questions down. Be quiet, listening to God as He gives you the answers to all your questions. Reflect upon your dreams, as this is another way God speaks. Show God how much joy you have for this wonderful life by adding color, style, fun, and flavor to your days. Promise God you will live a life of honor, kindness, compassion, joy, and unconditional love for all life. You may slip up, and that's okay. Keep trying as you are on your perfect life path. Today, show gratitude to God by promising reverence to God and the life He gave you. And always enjoy the day.
We are part of my conversation coming up with Jennifer Holliday in today's Entertainment Spotlight. Stay with us. You're listening to Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. The one and only Jennifer Holliday stopped by Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about her extraordinary career and the year that's been 2022 is a bit of our conversation. Ms. Holliday, I want to begin by talking about this year because you have had such an amazing career overall, but this year you have not stopped. I mean, you have had so much going on. The new single we mentioned, So in Love, that we were playing here on the radio side of our broadcast. And then, as I said, you were revealed as Miss Teddy on The Masked Singer. What has this year been like for you to already reflect on what you've been able to do?
It has been so exciting. And I don't want to get like spiritual and deep on you, but, you know, the pandemic threw those of us, the whole world, you know, into just kind of like a spinning cycle. But for many of us in the entertainment industry who perform live, we had nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? We had nothing to do. Those of us who do music, and, you know, everything just stopped. And so it really wasn't until last year that things started going. Then there was another round of the virus. And so everything got postponed again. People, you know, postpone our concerts or reschedule them or push them all the way off to 2023 because of Omicron. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen, you know? And then sometimes you just have to take a deep breath and you have to realize that life is what it is. It's each day at a time, one day at a time. And I don't know, Cyrus, I can't even begin to tell you that I just relaxed and just said, you know, I have to have faith that I have a future. I don't know when it's going to happen. I have to keep my talent together. I always, you know, I still keep my voice together and practice and everything, just so I always be ready. I always tell young people, just be ready, because you never know when that opportunity is going to come.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning into this edition of Conversations Daily News. Prepare to get on tomorrow with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host Cyrus Webb saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make today amazing. Take care.